My name is Ryan and I'm in recovery. If you haven't seen my previous videos, I'm 38 years old, I'm in recovery from cocaine addiction. I wanted to talk a bit about the kind of feeling of, I guess, like telling loved ones that you have a problem, and I guess people just kind of finding out, because I think for a lot of people in addiction, the kind of secret feels so like big and dark, and that's, you know, such a big thing that keeps you trapped in addiction. You know, as I spoke about in previous videos, I think now that I think back and reflect on it, I think in various forms I was battling with addiction for, you know, 15 years, like a really long time, and I always just felt so much shame around it that I just couldn't bring myself to ever tell anyone. My hand kind of got forced earlier this year. I was like 2-3 days deep into like a session of using the cocaine heavily, and my sister ended up finding me in my flat in a bad situation, and I ended up kind of telling her what was going on and the depths of it. And then from that, I kind of told her, and then the following day I woke up and I kind of felt a bit liberated from telling her, and ended up then, as a result, deciding to tell my family and my girlfriend. And yeah, it kind of unlocked the door really, and then I ended up going to rehab, kind of trying to access support. And then after rehab, I decided to start this channel, which was obviously a big decision for me. I didn't have social media before. I'm a fairly like introverted, private person, but the way that I discussed it a little bit with my therapist, and the way she kind of said it to me was like, you know, you need to kind of harness the power that the addiction has, and by telling people, you can do that. You can kind of turn it into a power for positivity, and maybe even for change, for helping people and things like that. And that was a big thing for me. But obviously the side effect of that is that then every single person I know found out and would constantly contact me, and people wanted to talk about it. But it's worth saying as well, I literally haven't had a single negative response, even to, like, you know, the kind of more old school, older people, members of my family, my aunties and uncles. Everyone's been really supportive and really understanding. And I never would have dreamed it would have been that way. And when I was in my addiction, I was convinced that everyone would be angry at me or ashamed of me or disappointed in me. And, you know, maybe there's elements of that, but I've never felt it from anyone. It's all been really positive. And I just think, you know, if you're in that position where you're in a hole and you're stuck and you feel too scared to tell anyone, me telling people was really the only way I've been able to kind of try and get ahead of this addiction and try and, you know, get properly into recovery and face it. I'd say if you're deep in addiction, it's almost impossible to try and deal with it yourself. The amount of times I tried to get clean myself and was like, I can just handle this, no one will ever even know, and then I would just fall back off the wagon. You know, by telling people, there's that accountability, which helps a lot, but also there's support. If people love you and care about you, they'll understand. There's so much stigma attached around addiction nowadays, where people think it's this dirty thing or it's for down and outs and homeless people, and it's just not. There's people in higher powered jobs, successful people on paper that have got this addiction that they're battling with. It doesn't make you any less a person. So yeah, I just wanted to share that in the hope that people will see it, and maybe, you know, like I've said in other videos, just maybe reach out to one person, someone that you really trust, someone that you feel comfortable with. Do that first, see how that feels, and I think you'll be surprised how it takes a bit of power out of the horrible feeling that you're in. Yeah, and anyone that obviously wants to reach out to me, feel free to inbox me. I always reply to everything.